Now we're going to look at attaching our new nitrogen spaces to the sugar group. So the sugar that we are using is ribose. I know it's been a while, but bear with me. So because it's a single ribose molecule, it is a monosaccharide. This ribose molecule is an aldo, so that means it's an aldehyde, pent, which means there are 5 carbons to the structure, os, meaning that it is a sugar, so we have a hydrogen and hydroxyl group on each of the chiral carbons. Nice little refresher for our carbohydrates there. In this Fisher projection, we see the chiral centers, but we can also identify that the OH group on the last chiral carbon is on the right side. So when it's on the right side, this is going to be D-ribose. As we discussed in our carbohydrates, the Fisher projection structure of our monosaccharides is not the stable version. It wants to go into its cyclic structure. As a refresher, we do this by laying our sugar down and to the right so that we can see the placement of those OH groups. Those OH groups were on the right, which is going to put them down in relation to our ring. It is the last chiral carbon, the one that makes that D enantiomer that reacts with the aldehyde group. Because this is a pentose, it's an aldo, it's going to make a 5-membered ring. We really focused on our hexoses when we were discussing carbohydrates. So in this 5-membered ring, we have carbon 1, which is that first carbon directly to the right or clockwise from the oxygen. 2, 3, 4, 5. So that 5th carbon is the tail, and it is up, which also tells us that it's in the D form. Where we really focus on understanding the difference between the sugar that's in RNA versus DNA is carbon number 2. So in carbon number 2 in ribose, we have that OH group there. That is ribose. However, in DNA, that stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. The D tells us that we are in that tail is up. The 2 tells us that carbon 2 is going to have that difference. Deoxy means that we have removed an OH group or an oxygen from that second carbon. However, we still have this ribose as that 5-carbon sugar. So we looked at carbon 2. If it has an OH group, excellent, it's ribose. If it does not have that OH group, it is deoxyribose. So ribose is going to be used in RNA, and deoxyribose is going to be used in DNA. When we attach our nitrogenous base to the ribose sugar, this is called a nucleoside. A nucleoside is the base, truly like the base structure for nucleotide and derivatives. It is part of cell signaling that we'll talk about during the roles of nucleosides and their derivatives. But in order to really apply to this nucleo compound, you need to have that sugar with that nitrogenous base. Then we can add phosphate groups or change something up, and those are the derivatives of our nucleoside. When we were looking at our nitrogenous bases and we had that red hydrogen was the hydrogen that was going to interact with our anomeric carbon. Remember, when we talk about bonding between sugars, we are going to react that anomeric carbon that had that OH group. On this structure, that OH group is in the beta position, so that means it is going up. And the hydrogen from the base is pointing down. That allows those two groups to react together and release water. This is a condensation reaction that we've talked about before. Because these are not two sugars, but a nitrogenous base and a sugar, they call this bond an N-glycoside, or a nitrogen bonded to a sugar. So it's an N-glycosidic linkage. When looking at this structure as well, so what we also need to be able to notice here is the numbers in the ribose. The number has an apostrophe following it. That apostrophe represents a prime. So these prime numbers are specific to the carbons in the ribose. It is how we distinguish between the carbons in the sugar versus the carbons in the nitrogenous base. We use this language especially when we talk about building these polymers. When we say the 5' end or the 3' end, we are referring to the ribose or the sugar in that nucleoside or nucleotide. The nitrogenous bases, if we talk about the carbons in those, we'll just say carbon 1, 2, 3. So that prime is very important in distinguishing between which carbons we are talking about. Once we attach the nitrogenous base onto the ribose or deoxyribose sugar, we need to update the name, because that's going to tell us whether we're working with a nitrogenous base or we're working with the nucleoside, because they're going to have different properties. Just like we have done with all of our organic compounds, we keep the parent stem but change the suffix. Looking at our purines first. Adenine and guanine are the two nitrogenous bases for a purine. We are going to remove the suffix -ine. So we have aden and guan. And we're going to replace them with osine. Therefore, adenosine is the nucleoside in RNA, and guanosine is the nucleoside in RNA. If we're talking about the nucleoside in DNA, we need to add that deoxy in front of it. So deoxyadenosine or deoxyguanosine would be the nucleosides that would ultimately represent DNA. For our pyrimidines, we have our cytosine, thymine, and uracil. The site, thyme, and ur are the parent names to these structures. So we're going to take away those suffixes, and they're different for these ones. And we're going to put the idine, very similar to pyrimidine. Cytosine shows up in both RNA and DNA. So we can have a cytidine for the RNA-based nucleoside or a deoxycytidine for the DNA nucleoside. Thymine does not show up in RNA. So the only name we really have for thymine is deoxythymidine. And uracil does not show up in DNA. Therefore, only in RNA would we see uridine. Looking at the structure that we have next to here is the same structure we had previously, but now let's name it. First, let's figure out what that nitrogenous base is using those tips I had provided to you. It is a single ring, so I know it's going to be a pyrimidine because big name, little structure. And then I'm going to connect my nitrogens. Because I have a nitrogen above, that's where I'm going to start. And I'm going to have that C. Awesome. So I'm working with cytosine. Looking at our sugar then, I got to go to carbon 2, and I see it's without an oxygen. Therefore, this is a deoxyribose. Here we are representing a deoxycytidine structure. That is what you need to be able to do with these images.